Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. When William Ruto was campaigning just before the 2022 presidential elections, William Ruto had told the nation that he was going to ensure that he annihilates Raila Amolo Odinga politically. He was going to clear Raila Amolo Odinga from the political scene. And he told us that he was going to cast Raila in a wheelbarrow and send him to Bondo. So immediately he took over office, he started by poaching some of Raila leaders, some of the members of parliament from the ODM. Felix Uduor Jalango, we had Elisha from Game, there was Ochanda Gideon, several of them. But then William Ruto very quickly realized that when you pick those leaders, Raila remains with the people because Ruto thought that Raila has ODM supporters. Raila does not have ODM supporters. Raila has a fanatic following, Raila followers, not ODM. So he realized that he took the MPs, but Raila still had a strong grip for the people that voted for him. Then William Ruto realized that there are very many ways of killing a rat, that you don't need to go confrontational. And you realize that if you want to ensure that you deal with Raila, you do not go confrontational. Raila thrives well. It is like fish in water. Raila likes that confrontational kind of politics. Ruto, having made many mistakes, he knew very well that Raila would take him home. So he decided that the other way of setting a trap is to ensure that they get into a broad-based government. And with that, William Ruto has successfully confused the Luo nation. And I'm saying this because everyone has a right to contest to any political seat as long as he qualifies in accordance to the laid down procedures and conditions in the constitution. And everyone has a democratic right to choose any political leader. You cannot coerce people to like your, for example, presidential candidate or a member of parliament candidate or an MCA candidate, for example. But whenever you want to choose a leader, you must have strong reasons. For example, if you want to sell your candidate to other people, you must tell them why you want us to vote for your candidate. And even if you look at the people who voted for William Ruto in the last election, some of them voted for him because he told them he would turn around the economy. You remember the bottom-up economy. When he told us that we have, since independence, we've had a model, an economic model that was only benefiting the rich. And he said he wants to turn that round so that we have an economy that will look upon those who are at the bottom of the economic pyramid. And they voted him for that. Others voted for him because apparently he was ostensibly a man from God. He was God-given. That is how he presented himself. Especially in Central, he went through the church. So there are several reasons why William Ruto was elected. Others elected him because he was a hustler. He told them that Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta had been born and bred in State House. They never understood the predicaments of the common man. So they had their reasons. After Raila's AUC loss, I have seen flimsy reasons why the members of parliament from the Luo community is telling us that why we must support William Ruto. You know, ladies and gentlemen, let's say, for example, when you are invited for an interview, you want to become a CEO, a manager of a particular company, let's say a sales company, and you're told, why should we hire you? You must have tangible reasons. You tell them how you want to lift the company, maybe in terms of sales. Now, yesterday, I listened to the Rangwe Member of Parliament, Lilian Gogo, giving us reasons why she's going to support William Ruto and why she believes we must support William Ruto. And do you know the reason? That William Ruto, while in Ethiopia, rode in the same car with Raila Amolo Odinga. And that alone, according to Lilian Gogo, is the highest demonstration of respect to Raila Amolo Odinga and by large to the Luo community. And therefore, she is telling us that we should help William Samoei Ruto finish his term and re-elect him because he drove in the same vehicle, the presidential car, with Raila Amolo Odinga.
And for all I care, William, any time that you are going to call on us, William, I'm telling you this, William. Anytime you are going to call on us, William, I saw you. Nobody told me. I saw with my 2 eyes. Riding in the same vehicle with Baba, our Baba Uonoa. William, thank you very much. And when you want us, William, when you call on us, William, we saw you. We saw what you did to our very own. Somebody we value. Somebody Kenya values. Somebody who's gone through so much for this country. Somebody who sacrifices. Somebody who is not a tribalist. Somebody who has given so much for the great Republic of Kenya. And William, you came. And William, you were there for Baba. And William, you talked to us. And you are so humble. William, Willie, I'm telling you, what you did to Baba, what you did to our son, William, we saw you. And the way you were there, and the way Kenyans were mourning, and the way we were grieving, and both of you stood and talked to us in the evening in Addis. William, leave that gender thing alone first. I'm just congratulating William. And I want to tell you, William, just unite Kenyans. William, please put Kenyans together. That is the only direction that we want. I'm talking to President William Ruto, William Samoei.
You know, that is democracy. People have got reasons why they like particular candidates. Some people loved Raila, they still love him, because Raila used to speak on behalf of the weak, the downtrodden, the minority. Raila used to give us dossiers of corruptions, and even some people were asking, does Raila have some government spy or some spy within the government? Because he would come up with certain allegations that later only turn out to be true. Things that are said in some clandestine meetings, the following day, Raila would have wind of it and he would reveal it to the people. And Raila used to confront governments whenever there were abductions, corruption, wastage. Raila would speak about it, and that is why people loved him. The reason why people say that, you know, Kalonzo is very weak and all that is because Kenyans are fond of confrontational politics. They would really want you to confront the president, tell him haiwezekani na kama sio hivyo tutaenda kwa barabara. That is not the style of Kalonzo's politics, but somehow people loved Raila for that. Now, for a member of parliament, and I say that is a democratic right, to tell us that the reason why we should support William Ruto is because William Ruto allowed Raila to be in the same car with him, to me, that is not the best reason. And I knew it when William Ruto, in full glare of camera, decided to invite Raila to be in the same vehicle. That was to send a message home. It was there for optics. And the Luo nation was over the moon with joy that, you know, he has accorded Raila the highest, respect. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we can do better than this. There can never be a reason to vote William Ruto just because they were in the same vehicle with Raila Amolo Odinga. If anything, Raila told us that Ruto took his victory. So everything that William Ruto is doing was supposed to be Raila's. Even by taking Raila to the AUC, we know that Ruto never meant well. He wanted to clear Raila from the local politics. The money that is alleged to be 13 billion was not Ruto's money, but the taxpayers' money. It was never a favor, as the Luo MPs want to put it. They want us to believe that that was a favor. It wasn't. It was a right. When Kenya presents a candidate, it is a right. But this time round, it was Ruto's candidate. That is why you've seen people were divided. We knew the undertones behind Raila's push to go for the AU. Now, the other reason why some people want, especially from the Luo community and Raila supporters, want to support William Ruto is apparently to punish the people of Mount Kenya. They are saying they gave us William Ruto and they said, si uchawi ni maombi. And therefore, we are going to support William Ruto so that they can also feel what we felt, so that they can feel the very bad policies that are dragging this country down in terms of socioeconomic, progress. We have a downward trend, and they're saying we are going to support William Ruto because you supported him. You cannot now turn around and say that William Ruto is bad.
Kama wa Kenya, uchungu ni ile tu. Wacha mkiumia, hata sisi tuumie. Ruto, tano ingine. Walinika katiba. Watu si wajinga. Walinika katiba. Watu si wajinga. Ukae hapo. Watu si wajinga. Watu si wajinga. Hata usitingike. Hata usitingike. Ruto. Usitingike. Hapo. Sisi wajinga. Wanakula tunalia. Wanakula tunalia. Kwani tutacheka lini?
Ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto is loving it when there is a rivalry between the mountain and the lake, because he knows very well the day the lake will meet the mountain, that is the end of William Samoei Ruto. But politicians have always thrived by evoking this fear and this rivalry, and they thrive in it. That is what Uhuru did when he was campaigning to become the president. That is what Gachagua did. And today, Raila is a scarecrow. And don't get me wrong, there are many people who love Raila. There are people who have voted for him from the mountain. But majority do not like him because they evoke that fear. Now that is exactly what some leaders have done in the lake. They are saying they never voted for us. 4 times Raila contested, they never voted for him. And now they don't like us. We must support William Ruto. And William Ruto is loving it whenever there is that controversy between the two communities. So that is another reason. They are saying, wacha kiumane. We want you, lakini mliendelea kufanya nini? Kumchagua, kwa hivyo hata sisi tutamchagua. Again, to me, that is not a reason. Because we need to look at the future. Having Ruto for another 5 years, is it good or bad for us? What about the policies? And are we going to support someone just because he appointed maybe he gave us some ministerial positions? And you see, Uhuru Kenyatta is not a yardstick. Because they are saying Uhuru never gave us anything. I mean, we cannot use Uhuru Kenyatta's, let's say it was a failure. So are we going to compare William Ruto to the worst so that we can get the best of him? That is not the best reason. The third reason why these people want us to support William Ruto is that the Mount Kenya nation celebrated when Raila lost the AU seat. I mean, look at that. We all know that the Mount Kenya believes that it is Raila who added his members of parliament to reach the prerequisite numbers that was needed to send Gachagua home. And therefore, they were not going to be happy if Raila got that seat. But they were happy when he lost. Number two, others were happy that perhaps Raila would come and join them in trying to ensure that we have a better country. And whenever anyone from Mount Kenya mentions that, they are being reminded that, you never spoke when Uhuru was tearing this country apart. I don't know how true that is. For example, someone was asking him yesterday that when Uhuru presented Amina Mohamed for the AU seat, he used 436 million Kenya shillings. But we never saw anyone questioning. Why is Kiumburi now asking the amount of money that has been used? Now, I mean, this is taxpayers' money. And number two, when Uhuru presented Amina Mohamed, he didn't have any selfish motives. But when Ruto presented Raila, he wanted Raila to get out of the space so that he can inherit his support base. That is the difference. So, ladies and gentlemen, the other reason is because the people of Mount Kenya celebrated.
Nilijua kuwa Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga ataanguka hiyo kiti ya AU. Na haikuwa shida ya Raila Odinga. Ilikuwa ni shida ya Raila Odinga na marafiki ambao wamemshika mkono. Itakuwaje mtu mwenye amekushika mkono rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya anateka watoto wa wenyewe nyara na anaua watoto, na wewe unataka kwenda kuongoza AU? Kwanza kuja hapa nyumbani, tutengeneze hapa nyumbani kabla hujaenda huko mbali, huko mahali unasema unataka kwenda huko. Hiyo mahali unakimbilia kwenda kujificha Addis Ababa, hapana, enda huko. Kuja hapa wakati tatengeneza hapa, labda utakutuma huko mbele, lakini huwezi kutuweka kwa shida. Watoto wetu wajenzi waliuawa, wewe ukaleta watu yako ukaweka ndani ya serikali. Wakati umetuacha kwa shida, unataka kwenda AU. Utakaa hapa na sisi, tukiteseka unatezekea hapa ndani. Wakati SHA haifanyi kazi, hata yako itakosa kufanyia kazi ukiwa hapa. Hakuna kwenda AU, kaa na sisi hapa. Na mimi nataka niambie hii watu wanasema ati sisi tumekosea kwa sababu tunacheka, kwa sababu Raila Odinga alianguka. Tutacheka na tutaendelea kucheka na tumefurahi sana. Na hatuwezi wacha kucheka. Ile siku Gachagua aliumizwa mtoto yetu, mtu ya nyumbani. Nyinyi mlicheka. Wakati yetu ya kucheka imefika. Msitukataze kucheka, tutacheka. Siku yetu ile mlikuwa mnaambia msiguze mlima, mliwasaidia William Ruto kuguza mlima. Sasa na nyinyi mlima yenu imeguzwa. Sasa nyinyi mmeguzwa na sisi tumeguzwa, tuko sawa sawa. Nyinyi mlicheka na sisi tucheke, tujenge Kenya tukielekea mbele. Haiwezekani. Na mimi sitaki niseme siasa ati nizidi hapo. Lakini haiwezekani. Na unajua leo nimeona asubuhi kiongozi mwingine mmoja wa sisi anaitwa Bwana Koimburi ameshikwa na William Ruto kwa sababu alisema William Ruto alitumia bilioni 13. Badala ya kushika yeye, tuambie ulitumia pesa ngapi? Kwa sababu Raila Odinga alisema ile pesa yote ametumia kufanya campaign ni pesa ya serikali ya Kenya.
For those who think that there would be any squabbles between us out of this contest, I've seen naysayers thinking so. Honorable Speaker, let me tell you, we are going to hold the hands of President William Ruto more firmer. Honorable Speaker, when I returned, I was met by some media people who were asking, now are you going to stop supporting the administration? It is the patriotic duty of all Kenyans to support the government in place. And I wanted to tell those people that I happen to be from the community of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. I can tell you, in the enterprise of building one Kenya, count on Raila to join hands and to continue to the end with President William Ruto.
If we want to grow as a nation, we have to have the best reasons why we need to support a particular candidate. William Ruto stood on a platform and gave us very many promises. And I think we should use the promises as a yardstick, not to Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru did this, Ruto is not doing this, Uhuru didn't do this, now Uhuru is doing this, Ruto is doing this. No. Let us have a candid conversation why we should support William Samoei Ruto. The only conversation that I can get involved is because personally, I don't believe that Ruto has performed. That is the truth. But which candidate is he going to contest against? On that note, we'll have a conversation. Maybe not as a community, but individually you're now comparing. Gachagua has done this, Ruto has done this. But we need to look at someone against his own promises. So all these reasons why the Luo community are being urged to support William Ruto are flimsy and myopic. And that only shows that we are demonstrating lack of seriousness, and we live to regret that. I don't know what to think, ladies and gentlemen, but that's my take.